It is easy to feel hopeless for those of us who woke up Wednesday feeling nauseous, heartbroken, and upset to learn that hatred is not a criterion that disqualifies millions of our fellow Americans. To be afraid of the upcoming racism, misogyny, and dehumanization of a large number of us. That is beyond our control. However, we can prevent ourselves from being such. Many people had already seen or heard that last Saturday, when the former center for the Philadelphia Eagles was at the Ohio State-Penn State game, Jason Kelce broke the mobile phone of a guy who had used a homophobic slur at his brother. Kelce repeated the insult as well. First on ESPN on Monday night, and then on his podcast with brother Travis on Wednesday, Kelce expressed regret. Despite his anger, Kelce said he went to a place of hatred, which is never the solution. "I don't believe it's helpful that I choose to respond to hatred with hate." Before Monday night's Kansas City Chiefs vs. Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, Kelce said, "I don't. It's the proper approach. It doesn't spark conversation. I dropped to a level I shouldn't have at that moment." Most of us can identify with having lost our temper and uttered inappropriate things. Since they understand that the heckler went too far and that he was hoping Kelce would respond the way he did to achieve his 15 minutes of fame, most people have gone to Kelce's defense. However, we need to improve, every one of us. We don't alter someone when we become as hateful as they are. Given that over 70 million Americans voted for Donald Trump to be reelected despite overwhelming proof of his bigotry and sexism, we may even be strengthening their resolve. But we do transform ourselves. We lose a piece of our humanity when we fall into the gutter. "I've always been taught to live my life by the golden rule," Kelce said. "I'm going to continue treating people with respect and basic decency. Even if I didn't meet my goals this week, I will keep doing it. That does not imply that we should overlook the taunts and exclusion of minorities. Furthermore, it does not mean that we must put up with mean-spiritedness. On the contrary, we must fight against injustice with all of our might and condemn those who disparage women, people of color, immigrants, and members of the LGBTQ community. But we don't have to debase ourselves to do it. And if we want to have any chance of ever turning this nation around, we will have to. We must begin with ourselves if we want our country to be where everyone is treated with respect and dignity, as our principles promise." About the homophobic slur, Kelce said on his podcast, "To be honest with you, the thing that I regret the most is saying that word." He used a plain term, expletive, absurd. "It's barely over the line and off the wall. It irritated me and was demeaning. And there was a response." Kelce said, "There is a video that shows me and him using that word, and it's not good for anybody. I regret that millions of people have seen a horrible film that has gone viral online. And I'm partly to blame for spreading it and keeping it up to date. On a day when so many of us are depressed, it's essential to keep in mind that hatred has never been the solution. Feel puzzled, depressed, furious, and sad. However, do not accept what you know to be incorrect. Do not become what you have battled against. You've lost more than an election if you do."